The Indiana Fever's playoff journey began with a disheartening 93-69 loss to the Connecticut Sun in Game 1 of their first-round matchup. The energy at Mohegan Sun Arena was electric, but the Fever couldn't silence the home crowd. Despite a valiant effort, the Fever couldn't overcome the Sun's veteran poise and suffocating defense. Key moments included Alyssa Thomas's dominant performance for the Sun, putting up a triple-double. Dewana Bonner also had a standout game, pouring in crucial baskets that kept the Fever at bay. For the Fever, it was a tough lesson learned on a big stage. The team struggled to find their rhythm offensively, and their usually stingy defense couldn't contain the Sun's multifaceted attack. The loss puts the Fever in a must-win situation heading into Game 2, forcing them to dig deep and regroup if they want to extend their playoff run. All eyes were on rookie sensation Caitlin Clark as she took the court for her first taste of WNBA playoff action. The atmosphere was different. The lights seemed brighter, the crowd louder, the stakes higher. And unfortunately for Clark and the Fever, her performance reflected the pressure cooker environment. Clark, known for her sharpshooting and electrifying play, couldn't find her groove. She finished the game with 11 points, well below her season average. Her usually reliable shot seemed off, as she connected on only 4 of 17 attempts from the field, including a dismal 2 for 13 from three-point range. Several factors could have contributed to Clark's struggles. The Sun, known for their defensive prowess, made a concerted effort to disrupt her rhythm. They threw different looks at her, forcing her into contested shots and denying her the space to operate effectively. Caitlin Clark's subpar performance in Game 1 begs the question, was it simply a case of playoff jitters, or is this indicative of a larger issue? Clark has faced criticism throughout her young career for her tendency to fade in big games. Critics point to her performances in crucial college games where she struggled to replicate her regular season dominance. It's too early to definitively say whether this is a recurring pattern for Clark. She is, after all, a rookie experiencing the intensity of the WNBA playoffs for the first time. The bright lights and heightened expectations can undoubtedly impact even the most seasoned veterans. However, it's an aspect of her game that she'll need to address moving forward. To silence the doubters and reach her full potential as a player, Clark must find a way to thrive under pressure. The playoffs are a different beast, and she'll need to learn how to handle the added scrutiny and deliver when it matters most. Section 4. Fever's Inexperience shows. While Caitlin Clark's struggles were evident, it's important to note that the Indiana Fever's Game 1 loss wasn't solely on her shoulders. The team as a whole looked out of sync, and their lack of playoff experience was palpable. They seemed overwhelmed at times by the Sun's physicality and veteran savvy. The Fever committed costly turnovers, many stemming from miscommunications and poor decision-making. They struggled to execute their offensive sets, often settling for hurried or contested shots. Defensively, they had no answer for Alyssa Thomas, who carved them up with her all-around brilliance. This game served as a harsh reminder that playoff basketball is a different animal. Experience is invaluable in these pressure-packed situations, and the Fever's lack of it was evident. They'll need to learn from their mistakes quickly and find a way to match the Sun's intensity and execution in Game 2. Section 5. Bouncing back. A game plan for Caitlin. For Caitlin Clark to bounce back in Game 2 and beyond, she'll need to make some adjustments. First and foremost, she needs to rediscover her shooting touch. The Sun did a great job of running her off the three-point line, forcing her into uncomfortable situations. Clark thrives in transition, and when creating her own shot, the Fever need to find ways to get her easier looks, whether it's through screens, cuts to the basket, or pushing the pace in transition. They also need to utilize her playmaking ability, allowing her to create for her teammates and get others involved offensively. Furthermore, Clark needs to remain aggressive but also needs to pick her spots carefully. She forced several shots in Game 1 that were ill-advised. She needs to trust her teammates and look to create high-percentage scoring opportunities for herself and others. Section 6. Hope on the horizon. Despite the disappointing Game 1 loss, there is still hope for the Indiana Fever. This young team now has valuable playoff experience under their belts. They've tasted defeat on the big stage and understand what it takes to compete at this level. Caitlin Clark in particular will be eager to prove that she can handle the pressure and deliver when it matters most. Her competitive fire and unwavering belief in herself should fuel her to come back stronger in Game 2. The Fever's season isn't over yet. They have the talent and potential to turn things around. It's now up to them to learn from their mistakes, make the necessary adjustments, and come out firing in Game 2. The journey to a championship is rarely easy, and this setback could serve as a valuable learning experience for this young and hungry Fever team.